Are you aware that there are different types of U.S. visas that allow your spouse to gain U.S. work authorization? In this video, I'll be discussing 6 different types of visas that allow your spouse to obtain work authorization in the U.S., so stay tuned. Before we get started, it's important to know that many non-immigrant visas have corresponding visas for spouses. In many cases, your spouse can receive their own dependent visa based on your visa. When your spouse qualifies for a visa and gets it based on their relationship to you, they become known as your derivative beneficiary. Now that we have a general understanding of how spousal visas work, let's get into 6 of the visas that let your spouse work in the United States. The first visa I want to start with is the E-2 visa, which is a non-immigrant investor visa. This visa allows people from specific countries to start a business or invest in an existing business in the United States. Upon investing, the visa holder can live in the U.S. and run their business. Interestingly, the spouse of an E-2 visa holder is also eligible for an E-2 visa, known as the E-2S, which allows them to automatically obtain U.S. work authorization. Moving on to the second visa, we have the E-1 visa, which is similar to the E-2 visa. As previously talked about, the E-2 visa is for individuals who intend to invest in the U.S. Conversely, the E-1 visa is meant for those engaging in substantial trade with the U.S. Like the E-2 visa, the E-1 visa is only open to citizens of select treaty countries. The spouse of an approved or applying E-1 visa holder can also be eligible for an E-1 dependent visa, and upon approval may automatically qualify for work authorization. The third visa is the L-1 visa, also known as the intracompany transferee visa. This visa allows a foreign company to transfer certain employees, managers, or executives to work for a related U.S. company. The worker must function as a manager, executive, or specialized knowledge worker. The spouse of an L-1 visa holder can obtain an L-2 visa, which similarly grants them automatic work authorization in the U.S. Next up, visa number 4 is the H-1B visa, which allows a foreign worker to come to the U.S. and be employed for a U.S. company in a specialty occupation. The U.S. company must petition the H-1B worker in a specialty occupation. In certain cases, the spouse of an H-1B visa holder can obtain work authorization. Moving on to the 5th visa, the J-1 visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows individuals to come to the United States as exchange visitors. If someone holds a J-1 visa, their spouse may be eligible to apply for a J-2 visa. In some cases, the J-2 visa holder can also apply for work authorization to work in the United States. Now let's talk about the last visa, the 6th visa. The 6th visa is the E-3 visa, which is exclusively for Australian citizens. Similar to the H-1B visa, it allows a skilled Australian worker to come to the United States to work in a specialty occupation, but requires a U.S. company to petition for the beneficiary. Also, the E-3 visa holder spouse can also apply for an E-3S visa, and with an approved E-3s can get automatic work authorization to lawfully work in the U.S. To sum it all up, we have talked about 6 visa options that enable your spouse to work in the United States. These include the E-2 investor visa, the E-1 visa for substantial trade and treaty traders, the L-1 visa for intracompany transferees, the H-1B visa for specialty occupations, the J-1 visa for exchange visitors, and the E-3 visa for Australian citizens. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all our videos. See you next time.